Okay, second thing we're going to start by heating this grilling pan in here. We're going to cook the fish in two stages. One stage we're going to mark it only on the skin side first, just halfway cooked. And the second stage we're going to actually bake it with the parchment paper and the vegetables that we're going to blanch soon. So we're going to bring the fillet of fish that we have prepared. One of the most important things we need to do is to make sure we dry it very, very well with the paper towel. One rule when you want to sear a piece of fish or meat or anything, basically to dry it very well. Second thing, when we place the skin side down, sometimes it's bent a little bit through the cooking. So one tip we may do is score the skin a little bit. That will help prevent it. Or we may apply pressure with 2 fingers. That's the other way we may do. We're going to lightly oil it and season it with salt, pepper on both sides. And a little bit of some more oil on the other side. I'm going to lightly oil the pan. Make sure it's very, very hot. You don't want to move the fish. Once we place it in the pan, just let it getting firm up for at least a minute or two, and then try to move it around. Now when the pan got really hot, as you can see, you need to hear the sizzle sound when you place it. And after we place it, we do not move it. Basically what we're looking for is just cooking the skin side first, and that's it. We're not going to cook the meat part. We're not going to flip it. We're just going to cook it on one side. Once we receiving like a white flesh around it is becoming like brighter, then it's the sign basically to remove it, cool it until the second stage we're going to cook it. In the meanwhile, we're going to prepare some water to blanch the vegetables for the fish. And this is a second technique of cooking vegetables. The first one we learned in the first session, and the second one we're studying today. The first one was the steaming with the butter, and today we're learning blanching, which is called à l'anglaise in French. So we place a regular water with plenty of salt. We're going to bring it to boil, and in the meanwhile we're going to cut the vegetables julienne size, just like we learned in the first session. We're going to start with carrots. I'm going to square it. Then cut it for slices. stack it up. I mean, the length should be about 6 to 7 centimeters by 1 to 2 millimeter square. Very important to have a uniform size. As we say, it's good to have it from two reasons. One is aesthetically, and the second reason is it's going to cook even. You stack it up again. We have the carrots. Second thing we're going to do is the leeks. The same way, see? We're breaking it apart, julienne size. Going back to the fish, see, once the fish is becoming very white and crispy, remove it from the pan with a fish spatula. You see, we did not have any reason to touch it while it's cooking. Just removing it, and now we're going to let it cool.